We feel so fortunate that we have so many sponsors that help us with our sale through and Turner Performance Horses throughout the year, that we also are able to offer a ranch horse champion, a trail horse champion, our super horse champion, which is basically a popularity award that all registered buyers get to bid on. So it's basically their favorite horse throughout the weekend. And then we have a Pee Wee award that we award a belt buckle to the best performing little cowpoke.
You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Welcome to The Ride, a bi-weekly podcast brought to you by Horse and Rider Magazine, co-hosted by Nicole Cherico and Devin Conley. In each episode, we chat with some of the industry's top trainers, clinicians, horsekeeping experts, and professionals to share inspiring stories, training philosophies, and the importance of living your best Western horse life.
In this episode of the Ride podcast, Devin chats with Chad and Paige Turner of Turner Performance Horses about their program, experience in the industry, and the League of Legends horse sale. This episode is brought to you by Turner Performance Horses. With a multitude of Western disciplines under their belt, it is no surprise that Chad and Paige Turner of Turner Performance Horses, residing in East Helena, Montana, and Congress, Arizona, are no strangers to the winning circle. Team roping, ranching, cutting, reining in all aspects of the show world. Their true success and unwavering dedication are spent sharing their passion for horses with others. For over 25 years, Turner Performance Horses has spent many hours and have driven thousands of miles curating and putting forth versatile, all-around horses. In 2017, Chad and Paige Turner decided to put forth an elite annual invitational horse sale called the League of Legends Invitational Horse Sale, held at their ranch in East Helena, Montana, the first Friday and Saturday of August. Setting performance horse sale records, their secret to success is quality over quantity. League of Legends standards and selection process stands apart with an extensive look into each horse's soundness with a detailed vet form and radiographs, mindset, disposition, and skill set. Not just a sale, but more of a horse buying event. Welcome back to another episode of the Ride podcast. I'm Devin Conley, and today I'm joined with Chad and Paige Turner of Turner Performance Horses. We're going to chat about their background in the horse industry, how Turner Performance Horses got their start, and learn more about the fantastic League of Legends sale that is held annually up there in beautiful Montana. So Chad and Paige, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Really excited you guys are here. If you listeners aren't familiar with Turner Performance Horses and the League of Legends sale, I think you're going to love learning about this. If you want to talk incredible horses, you're going to find them at the League of Legends. So I think we'll just dive in and first get a little background on you guys and your background in the horse industry. Did both of you grow up in the horse industry? Did you compete in certain disciplines? Can you just kind of fill us in about your background in the industry?
Sure. Thank you for having us. And as far as my background goes, I've been in the horses my whole life. My parents have always had horses, from using them in the backcountry to using them in the Western pleasure horse show, things like that. So that was my start as far as for my horsemanship, was actually Western pleasure when I was a little kid. So just learning, the basic riding. And then it just went on from there to roping, then to cutting, to cow horse and reining and things like that throughout my life. So definitely have been in and out as a kid, but definitely in it from high school on.
Very cool. And a little bit of everything.
Jack of all.
Yeah. How about you, Paige?
I was the little girl that begged to be around horses. I was fortunate enough to start taking riding lessons when I was 4, but my family could never have horses at our place, so we lived in the city when I was younger. And so it wasn't until I was 8 that we moved out to the country and bought a farm in New Palestine, Indiana, and got to buy my first double-registered Palomino quarter horse that I had to work for. And, he was a handful. He was one of those Henri first horses. But it was beautiful. And he taught me a lot and a lot of responsibility. And I just grew up kind of having to work for every bit of my horse time. And I really appreciate it today and feel fortunate that we can have the lifestyle that we do today.
That's really cool to kind of look back at where you started and where you're at and see, where you came from. And like you said, having to work hard for it makes you appreciate it so much more, I think. And
absolutely.
be able to reflect. And how about today? Do either you compete today, or do you focus more on like training or the sale?
We focus on showing as much as possible. It is hard for us to leave the ranch, being that we are preparing horses throughout the year. But we do go and show, and we go and show our horses that we sell. So I feel like if you're showing or if you're going to plan on selling, say, we'll just say a reiner, the horse needs to be shown to give him experience and know that he's good in the show pen and be able to forward that information on to the buyer as far as truly what the horse is. So yes, it's really important for us to go compete as far as I love to rope. I love to rein. The cow horse is definitely something that we're getting into. And cutting is also a great discipline as well. And we try to go and do all. Absolutely.
I'm going to brag on Chad here for just a minute. We actually were late getting down here to Arizona this year because Chad and Gavin, who works for us and has for several years now, they qualified for the NRA finals. And that was in Montana, where Chad was actually voted, his head horse, MP Jet to the Sun, was actually voted head horse of the year. So it was quite an award to win. And it's a voted title. And so we appreciate all those who voted for Saucer. And I guess we showed at the Run for a Million a couple years ago. That was a really, really enjoyable experience. We learned a lot, had a lot of fun. We are actually offering a horse that we showed at the Run for a Million a couple years ago here in December in Las Vegas at a sale. So that's pretty cool, I guess, that we get to
very cool
sell a horse that has a quite a seasoned resume with Turner Performance Horses. And then it wasn't very long ago that we were top 15 in the 35,000 limit rider in the NCHA. And we rodeo during the summers. I think as far as hauling and seasoning our horses, that I feel like as far as hauling our horses and seasoning them, we're always somewhere with them, whether it's hauling to the back country in the mountains or out gathering cattle on a ranch in Montana, or going to a horse show in Scottsdale or the Fort Worth Stock Show or whatnot. We're always doing something with our horses, and it's just being able to have a variety of disciplines that we get to play and dabble in, and our horses enjoy it. I think they really are happy because of everything they get to do.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. It seems like variety keeps them happy, keeps their mind good, getting them out of the arena and just putting the miles on them. And I know you guys offer incredible show horses, and that's really cool across such a variety of disciplines. And so how did Turner Performance Horses get its start? And because, like we're saying, you've done so many cool things, so many accomplishments. Congratulations on the head horse of the year. That's awesome. Where did this all begin?
Well, I would say that it began when I was a kid. I was around horses a lot, and I always had it in my mind that I wanted to be a horseshoer, train a few horses, and that was going to be my life. And at some point in time, Paige and I met, and that's kind of what we were doing as far as training horses and selling them. But at some point in time, it came to where we had a lot of horses, because we would always go to a sale with a couple horses. So I guess where it came is we started producing more than we were selling. So we had a large herd of really nice horses. And we were like, what are we going to do here? Because I don't want to go to a special sale somewhere with, 5 or 10 horses. How am I going to show them all? How am I going to maximize what they can do with each one of them? It's like almost impossible. So we decided that we needed to put on our own horse sale and have it to where people can come and ride them, try them, vet them prior to where we are putting on display or putting up at auction a really nice set of horses. Now, every horse isn't going to fit the very beginner rider. Every horse isn't going to fit the more advanced rider. So it's kind of really and truly trying to fit everybody with a certain horse that fits them. So I know I kind of got off the path a little bit there as far as where did it all start, but that's kind of how it started. Is we had a lot of product,
Yeah.
and that's how it got going. So now we keep a lot of horses around. So our 2026 horses are here. Our 2025 horses are here. Our sale was just last August.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a long time to know your horse well enough to where, say, a weekend warrior that comes about that, you really don't know how well he's going to feed him. You don't know what living condition he's going to put his horse. So it's really important to have that horse, put him in every living condition. He lives out in the pasture. He's lived in a stall. He's been put in a stall on full feed alfalfa grain, because that's what some people do. But know your horse. When you have a customer that comes, know your horse to where you can legitimately say, this horse, he's not going to saddle up tight. I don't care what you do. Right. So I think that's a really important thing to have.
Very important. Yeah, I agree. And like you said, there's so many different types of buyers, so many different types of horses. There's a horse out there for everybody. It's just finding them. And so, can you give us a little basic info on the League of Legends, where it's at, when it is, and just kind of where'd the name come from? I always like to hear, how people come up with names for their events or associations or whatever it is.
So our inaugural League of Legends Invitational Horse Sale was in 2017. And when we kind of came about with the idea that we're going to have the League of Legends Invitational Horse Sale, we have a surplus of amazing horses. They all vetted. They're for a multitude of levels of riders and disciplines that, we need to put on a sale. Like, this is pretty special. My best friend, Heidi Smith, came into the picture. She's the one that introduced Chad and I a long, long time ago.
Oh, very cool.
And she came on board and took the sale by the reins and just flew with it. And it was her son, Jacob Smith, that actually named the League of Legends Invitational. He was really into Justice League, which I don't really watch much TV, so I had no clue what that was. And we knew that we had a bunch of legend horses out in our pastures. And so the League of Legends just kind of arose from
that.
A little boy that enjoyed his TV and really nice horses. And so the League of Legends kind of developed, and it took off with a storm, and it was just such a pleasure to have the amount of consigners and buyers join us the first year. And it seems to have it's grown every year. And something that's really, really special about our sale is that all of our horses are vetted and sifted before they are allowed to make that catalog, before they're consigned to, I should reword that. Something that is really, really special about the League of Legends is that every horse that makes our catalog has been vetted by a panel of vets extensively. And then we follow up with their disposition, demeanor, and actually trusting our consigners, and our consigners understanding that we have a certain quality to hold up here at the League of Legends sale. And it's just, it's a very special event to us. We are passionate about. And Heidi, along with Heidi, it has been consistently the leading performance gelding sale in the United States for 9 years now. I think in 2025 it will be our 9th year holding the sale.
That's very cool. Yeah. So, let's talk about the new sale barn.
The League of Legends started out in Livingston, Montana, and I would say probably 2 or 3 years after it went up for sale. And we were always kind of on the sideline as far as if we were going to be able to get in or not. And that was a great facility. It was a great place to start out. One of the last years that we were there, we were informed that this ranch is going to sell and you need to figure something out. So we kind of kicked it around like, what are we going to do here? And we just kind of decided that we should maybe just build a barn. a good friend of ours, Eric Payne, who owns New West Builders, he recommended a timberline barn building package. So that's what we did. And it's a really nice, rustic, lots of big beams, and it makes a really nice atmosphere. It's a, it's a, it's a great barn that we can use for many of things. I know that my wife has had weddings there for a wedding
Very
venue. So it's definitely that type of atmosphere that's very comfortable for buyers. It's it's very nice. So I feel like you feel like you're at home when you're there at the horse sale. It's comfortable. You can get in the shade. You can get out of the rain. Um, I like that part of it as the sale barn.
Yeah, it's I saw some pictures of it. It's such a gorgeous facility. Like if you're looking to buy a horse, I mean, like you said, that's you're going to roll up there and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to find a nice horse here."
Thank you. We feel like that it's definitely shows our dedication to our product that we're offering at the League of Legends. It's a commitment that we've made that we want to promote and produce a sale as such.
Absolutely. And so, you know, on that note, we'll talk a little bit more about the consigner after this question. But I'm curious, you know, if you're a buyer and you're coming to the sale for the first time, what can I expect? What kind of horses are sold here? Do you guys? It sounds like you focus on such a variety of Western disciplines. Just what can I expect in terms of the buyer process and what kind of horses you're offering?
Well, I would like to compliment our office staff because I think that the minute you open that office door, you are greeted with the most kind and sweet office staff. Kate and Heidi run our office at the League of Legends, and they do an amazing job. They're comical, they are knowledgeable, they are professional, and they really, really appreciate everyone that walks through that door. So we hope that they feel that they are greeted with the open doors. We hope that it's very much just welcoming to everyone, which we've heard in the past that it is a quaint, intimate atmosphere, and everyone does feel pretty comfortable there. We have food and coffee on the grounds. We hope to have an ice cream truck this year. So as far as your bellies go and keeping you there and happy, we want you guys to, we want our clients to feel, you know, we don't need to go anywhere else. We've got everything right here. As far as the horses go, we call our first day Friday Casual Friday for a reason, and that's because it's low key. It's an intimate afternoon where we start out with a soft rope horse preview, where the rope horses are previewed, team roping and calf roping, breakaway as well. And then we go into a afternoon where our buyers get to try and watch everyone ride horses. And we go through a section. So we only have about 15 head of horses in each session.
Okay.
And it's for an hour. And it's a chance that people get to come down in the arena, watch other horses being ridden, watch other people ride them. And then it gives our consigners and myself and Chad an opportunity to physically connect with our buyers and let them express to us their genuine needs and be able to fit them with a horse. And whether we have that horse or not, we probably have a consigner that has that horse that will fit that potential buyer. And Saturday's a really full day for us. We get to start out at 7:30 to 8 o'clock in the morning. It kind of depends on the year, what time we start with our ranch horse and trail horse competition. The ranch horse competition consists of working a small reining/ranch riding pattern. You get to call for a cow, cut a cow, and then you get to run down and rope them and drag them. And that's kind of the ranch horse competition, and it's fun. It's exciting. There's a lot of whooping and hollering and you know, just people really enjoy that. And then you ride right out the gate of our arena and you cross some big logs, you cross a bridge, you ride straight up the mountain. You have to trot up the mountain and it's a steep one. And then you have to come down and go over a couple of logs. And then you cross an actual creek and you finished with the gate, another gate as well. And that's both of those events are judged. And we feel that it gives our buyers just a real real life concept of what this horse is going to be like when he rides up that mountain by himself and there's 20 head of horses at the arena. Is he whinnying? Is he looking back? It gives them I think it's just a confidence booster for them that they get to see these horses in real life in action. And then, so we have those two awards. The ranch horse champion gets an award. The trail horse champion gets an award. Our buyers and our consigners are awarded with so many sponsored awards. We feel so fortunate that we have so many sponsors that help us with our sale through and Turner Performance horses throughout the year, that we also are able to offer a ranch horse champion, a trail horse champion, our super horse champion, which is basically a popularity award that all registered buyers get to bid on. So it's basically their favorite horse throughout the weekend. And then we have a Pee Wee award that we award a belt buckle to the best performing little cowpoke. So every year, we just started that last year, and we wish we would have started it so many years ago, but it's fun to award the little cowboys and cowgirls of the world, our up and comers, with a little belt buckle. So we have several awards that go to our buyers and our consigners, and we just feel so fortunate that we're able to offer that just by way of our sponsors.
That's fantastic. I love that. And honestly, so I live on a ranch up here in Wyoming, and we do a lot of cowboying, and I'm like listening to you explain watching these ranch horses work and the kind of things the tasks they have to do. And I'm like, yes, yeah, that is exactly what I'm looking for when I'm buying a ranch horse. That is so cool. In the arena, out the arena. I love that process. And so what time does the actual sale start?
The sale is going to start at 3 p.m. following the preview. We try to get everybody done and out of there in a good hour. So we have all the paperwork done and ready as the horses sell. So if someone wants to go and check out, they can go to the office nowadays, go get their paperwork, and get on the road if that's what they wish. So that's one thing that I think that buyers really appreciate, is to where the paperwork is in order. They're in, they're out. If that's what they want to do, they can do that. So the sale takes about 3 to 4 hours long, depending on how many horses we have. But we usually have around 60 to 70 horses. This year, we may cut it back to around the 55 and be kind of strict on it as far as that goes. And then if people want to if they want us to accommodate with them as far as boarding the horse for a long period of time until they get their barn set up or whatever it is, or they're not ready for the horse, we do that. We've actually boarded a horse up until January before to keep them ready. They weren't ready for the horse. They wanted the horse, but they were just at a spot where, what are we going to do if we buy the horse? So right. We try to work with the buyers. If we'll do whatever we need to do to accommodate.
That's very cool. And the buyer experience sounds incredible. Just from, like you mentioned, when you get there and you walk in and people are welcoming, to buying with confidence, finding the right horse, getting to watch the horses in a variety of settings and environments, that's so valuable, especially for, folks that might be buying their first horse in this discipline or whatever it might be. So, I mean, the buyer experience sounds incredible. How about the consignor experience? You kind of mentioned that, the horses are vetted and you have some pretty strict requirements to consign a horse to the sale. Can you talk a little on that process?
Well, our League of Legends Invitational is a invite only sale where we want to have the very best horses consigned. And so we feel that we have established relationships with a lot of our consigners, and they understand the quality. We're kind of on the same page. We understand what is expected, and they offer some amazing horses every year. And part of the process is that, of course, like I said before, that they have to be vetted. They're already pre-vetted. Our panel of vets goes through all their radiographs, their vet exam, and then Chad and I and Heidi further along their sifting process with going through their credentials that they've submitted as far as disposition, what their discipline is, how old are they, what does their conformation look like, are they straight-legged, and then just there's so many guidelines. I could go on for forever as far as our criteria that we expect on each horse that's consigned to the League of Legends, but it's a lot. It takes us several months. As actually, we start in January for our August sale. We start in January sifting and nominating and sorting horses. Chad and I, we've already had several vet days of our legends vetting arms, so we kind of know where we're at as far as who gets to come to the League of Legends in 2025. And I'm going to say this is a stellar set of horses. So excited.
Yeah, and I think as far as the consigners that are coming, what I've found is from buyers, they ask, why are you selling them? Because they've went through the person that is looking for that same type of horse that they have, and if they don't feel like that horse is that, they want to sell it. So what I've found is that people that are in the business, they'll sell their good horse, they'll consign their good horse. So I've found that when you deal with people that are in the business, they sell their horse, and they sell their horse because it's a finished product of theirs and it's a good horse. So I feel like that's really important as far as, not all the time. I mean, there's people that just have one or two and things like that, and they do a great job. But I've found that a lot of times sales, if you go to some certain sales, you're going to run into that where they're selling the horse because they don't like the horse anymore. And they're like, I'm done with this one. Let's find another horse. So I don't think that you're going to run into that at our sale as far as a horse that doesn't fit there. Every horse at the League of Legends horse sale is a really nice horse. And then it's up to you to come and try them, talk to the seller, and does the horse fit you? Because there are some horses that are extremely good horses, but maybe too sensitive for this rider. So that's why we take the time as far as the ride and try and the previews and communication, trying to fit people with what they need.
It really sounds like the kind of process, the kind of sale where you can buy with confidence, which I think is everything when you're buying a horse, right?
Absolutely. If you didn't do your homework and you showed up and you just bought a horse and you kind of went out on a limb, like, I just like this horse, odds are that the horse rides like that out in the pasture by himself as well, because sometimes they look extremely good in the sale ring, and does he perform like that outside as well? So when you're dealing with really nice horses, I feel like they'll ride that way for most everybody everywhere, so.
And on that note, as far as offering, quality horses at our sale, I bet, I don't have a specific percent here, but I bet 10 to 20% of the horses that sell at the League of Legends every year sell to repeat League of Legends buyers.
Absolutely.
And a lot of word of mouth business comes from that as well. So we have a lot of repeat customers who have done business with us for 20 years. And we feel pretty blessed that they join us every year in and year out, and somehow go home with a horse.
That speaks volumes when people are coming back. And
it really does.
That's so cool. And our listeners right now, I know that there's people listening thinking, wow, I need to go check this out. I would like to find more information. And I know you said you just had your 2024 sale in August, but can you just let us know if you have a date yet for 2025? Like, where can folks find more information about the sale, about how far out? Do you have a catalog of sale horses, that kind of information?
Our sale in 2025 is August 1st and 2nd. And the catalog comes out mid-June usually. It can be found on our website, turnerperformancehorses.com. Also on the League of Legends Invitational Facebook page and Instagram. We try to hit all of our social media. And
you can always just give me a call too at 406-381-2347. I'll always try to answer.
That's awesome. So that kind of personal touch too, I think, is so important in the horse buying process. Like, just you get a call and just talk to a real person.
We try to answer the phone whenever it rings, but it's hard. Sometimes you're horseback or Chad shoeing a horse, and I'll call you back.
Oh, absolutely. Wonderful. Yeah. And Paige, you mentioned that it sounds like you guys have a stellar lineup of horses for this coming year. I know you always do, but you're really excited about this crop of sale horses for 2025. So sounds like the sale is coming into.
I'm pretty giddy about it. And we've already qualified a couple of them for the AQHA World Show and a multitude of events. And we're just hustling, just promoting and seasoning and enjoying, I guess. We before we left Montana, we took a couple of our legends downtown, Helena, and the local elementary school had just gotten out for recess. And I mean, there were 20 to 30 kids that ran over to the fence that just totally were enthralled with these horses that were taken to our sale next year. It was pretty cool to share them with the capital of Montana's elementary school. It was special to just get them out there and season them and show them to the world.
Yeah, and now those horses are recess broke, so that's that's awesome.
Let's take them to school. It's show and tell every day.
Well, if listeners, put that on your calendar, and you can go check out their website for more info, or just give Chad a call. And I'm really grateful you guys came on here today so we could learn about this amazing sale. And if you're looking for a good horse, you're going to find one here. So thank you, Chad and Paige, very, very much for joining me.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for tuning into the Ride Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and please be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow Horse and Rider Magazine on social media and find us at horseandrider.com to see all the cool things that we're up to. And if you have any comments or questions, please be sure to hit us up at horseandrider@equinenetwork.com. We want to hear from you guys. And if you like what you're listening to, please be sure to leave us a review on iTunes.